If at any time you need us to pause, and just feel free. Oh my God.
I wrote like a whole thing. Don't look at my notes.
So in a rarity, we'll probably convince Kirsty to publish her amazing notes in preparation for this, because that is an essay. You can't see it right now, but hopefully you will.
It's a proper essay. I was like...
Do you blog?
No, but I probably should.
Yeah.
I got to get this writing out there.
I think that would be great. Like Stables has a blog already, so you could... It just adds a different perspective.
I think that's on the cards. I think like little interviews with our teams. Yeah.
People need that, like, as they get to know, especially as you guys are going overseas, like they don't know who you guys are. So when they get to see the videos and stuff, all good. All right. So we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. I'll just pretend like we've done the intros and stuff. Okay. There's a bit of video that plays like now. Hi guys, it's Mark here from the Oz DeFi Association. We've got Kirsty with us today from Stables. Thanks for joining.
No worries, thanks for having me.
I think it's going to be great for people to see the other members of awesome groups like Stables. We thank them for being a sponsor, but we're going to get to know you and the role that you do, which is very important given just how well regarded Stables is in terms of design. But why don't we, before we get started, why don't you share with us a little bit about your journey into this world? What led to it? What were you doing before Stables? All that fun stuff.
Yeah. Oh God, it's a long, it's a long story.
We got time.
So I'm a product designer. I'm one of the lead product designers at Stables. We're a really small team. But yeah, my journey into design is very long and winded, but it's also very conventional as well. Yeah, I've always been interested in design and arts. I was always like really into it in school. It was my favorite subjects, but I never really thought of it as a career. I didn't know product design even existed. UX research, that wasn't a thing back 10 years ago. I'm kind of showing my age when I say that, but yeah, and I got into architecture. My family was all in construction, yeah.
Amazing.
I was like, oh, it's kind of designy, it's kind of construction, it makes sense. And then I got there and I was like, oh my God, I hate this. Like, I need to get out. So I literally was there probably a semester.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and I went back to my roots. I went back to like graphic design, I went to HTML, web development. I ended up studying visual communication and I was like, okay, I'm in my area. This is what I want to do. And yeah, I actually started in agency world, I think like most designers.
Okay.
So I did like PR, social, and yeah, that didn't really resonate with me. So I actually went back to school and did front-end development. So I've done a little bit of...
wow. Okay.
Done a little bit of, I don't know, you can't really say that's coding, but I'd like to claim.
No, front end it's development, it's software development. There's a skill to it, so absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely think it helps like when talking to like product and engineering, you have a bit more understanding of like what's possible, what's not possible. So yeah, I went back and I ended up again in agency, but doing web development. And then I got my first job in product design, which was at Zip. So
wow, okay.
I worked at the Buy Now, Pay Later for 4 years as their mobile product designer. So I worked mostly on iOS and Android apps, and that's actually where I met Bernie, our founder.
Shout out to Bernie.
I think we all know Bernie. And yeah, he was my product manager. So I worked with him for 4 years really closely. So yeah, I've known him for quite a while now.
Amazing.
And yeah, he was always at me to come, when he left Zip, he was always at me to come join Stables. And I was like, well, tick at the time. I was like, no, you're crazy. Crypto's crazy. Definitely not coming over. But yeah, I ended up going down a crypto rabbit hole and then it was a no-brainer. And yeah, I jumped on board in 2021.
Wow. Did you go down the rabbit hole first before coming over? Or was it? Yeah.
I needed the convincing. I wasn't, I couldn't make the jump without knowing what I was doing. And yeah, I literally thought it was crazy. I didn't know anything about crypto.
Yeah. What is this Ponzi? What is this scam?
100%. Bernie was always shilling crypto at Zip. So
well done.
Yeah. And yeah, so I joined, well, that crypto rabbit hole was like, I went on Twitter, it was during lockdown. Twitter was my entry into
Yeah.
crypto.
Had you been on Twitter before?
No, it's like I jumped on and I was like, oh my God, what is this? Started following all the crypto people, and that was like a really easy way to, I guess, get all that information in kind of a slow process. And yeah, I found, I just got sucked in. So
here we are, folks. Like it's you know, one of the great things we see is that people from all walks of life, whether you're in marketing or design or you're from finance like us, are coming into this, and there is room there. It's not just
100%.
we have to be. It's only these people. It's only developers can get in. It's the same thing with like AI right now. People are seeing that, it's only developers that can do this, and that's not true. There's so many angles to it. So I'm glad that, you know, you've come in from your pathway. And speaking of design and philosophy, what is your core philosophy and like approach when it comes to, I mean, the app itself, if you guys haven't seen it, and you'll see some, you know, things flash up on screen now, but Stables is well known for design, and not just by the awards that you've won, but also by other people just in our community talking about it. And it's such a prominent piece of the puzzle that we see here. But what is your core philosophy when it comes to designing the cool products that you've got?
it's funny, I never really thought, like I never sat down and reflected on what my philosophy is, but yeah, coming for this chat, I was like, actually what are my core values? What do I actually value in designing? But I will say we're also really lucky at Stables that everyone on our team really values design, and it's important to not only the designers, but the developers, product, and even the leadership team. I think they all see the value in design, which, you'll find some companies, it's an afterthought, but at Stables, it's like, it's right up there with engineering and product.
Had you seen that kind of stuff, like when you were working in agency, that some companies it was a bit of an afterthought?
Maybe not in agencies, but the tech companies, you can be really product-led or really engineering-led. I think there's a nice balance at our company. And I think a lot of people think design is just that. We're making it look pretty, but there's a lot more to design than just UI or graphics. It's like the experience, the delight. And everyone at our team really knows that.
Nice.
Sorry, a little segue there.
No, it's really good. I mean, this is as much selling Stables as it is anything else. But like, I think what people really are interested in is what leads to that. Like, we see the result, it's the iceberg, but those things that are underneath it, I think a lot of people just don't always understand that. From what you've described, it sounds like it's a bit of a culture.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good way to put it. Like, it is like a culture that like starts.
I mean, can I do this? Oh, I'm going to reach over. Sorry. Two.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've got
you're good.
So sorry. Do you want to?
Oh, no, it's all right. It's okay.
Speaking of culture, I mean, look at these. Like, yes, there's something missing because I've stuck it on my laptop here full of stickers, but you guys have great merch. Like, the stickers are amazing.
Yeah, we've got our hats going, repping the merch.
Exactly. And the shirt that I got given by Erez and Bernie is 3 times too big for me. So I'm not wearing it, but I appreciate it. But yeah, I think, people can see that it's really part of the culture with you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it's really good. And that I'm glad that it comes across. In terms of like philosophy though, I think one of the main things, especially in the crypto space, and it's been my philosophy for a while, but like simplicity, like it's literally, it's a no-brainer. But I think that means different things to different people. Within the blockchain space, it's doubly more important than in any other space because there's so many options, there's so many, it's really easy to get overwhelmed, jargon, everything. So reducing things to like the things that matter is really important. And that doesn't mean being sterile. That means...
Yeah, that's the danger.
Yeah, there's a balance. And I think that's also a challenge in the crypto space, that it's a balance between giving the right information and not overloading people and making sure that it works for different user groups, not just your crypto natives, but also people like newbies. You want to make sure that we're onboarding the next billion users.
Billion users. That's all, just a few more.
Just a few. And then on that, I think like empathy and curiosity are also really important on that as well, that you need to understand your users to make sure that the simplicity for a crypto native is addressed, but also the simplicity for,
I love it. I mean, and that's like super important. So is the next question, which is more about the challenges that you face when trying to create something like this.
I think with design, I think we do a lot of research to help with these problems. So like simplicity, making sure that we're putting things in front of people, we're getting their feedback early and often. I think that's really important. It's a feedback loop. And yeah, we want to make sure that the community has input into the designs that we're creating for them as well.
Nice.
And I think that helps build trust and transparency as well, that they can see what we're building and that we're building it for them.
Do you kind of show things as they're evolving to the community or to a small kind of cohort of the community? How does it work?
There's a few different things and it's really contextual. So it depends. So this is like a lot about product processes and it depends on how big or small a project is. And so like our launches and things, we'll try and do beta testing with community. Smaller things, like we have discovery phases where we test our ideas. And that could be through user interviews and things like that. Or we also do prototype testing to get feedback on designs. And lots of different things on that side.
And I'm sure that hopefully as well, this is like relating to the people that are watching this, because whether they're in a smaller startup or something, bigger, it's still important to go through these phases and to make sure that you're checking things off, because the danger could be that you put in all this hard work and effort and you don't do it in the right way and you only discover way too late when it's hard to change that you've headed down the wrong path.
100%. I think so many startups do that, where it's so easy to jump straight into design and building.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's the fun part, but you got to do the hard yards beforehand or during. I think it's still...
Because it's continuous, as you said, right? Like it's a loop. So.
Yeah, exactly.
No, very good. I mean, it's led to the award-winning projects that you guys have had. And speaking of which, I mean, we recently had the Blockies down in Melbourne. You guys were there for that. Can you tell us about the projects that led to that recognition of, and what was your kind of like role in that? Like what does product, or just in general, what does product design do as part of what leads to that?
Everything.
Exactly, that's vital.
I'd like to say we're a huge part, but it's a massive team effort. The team did an amazing job this year. I wasn't at the Blockies, but we did get I think we got Project of the Year and Startup of the Year. So that's like a massive props to the team. So proud of all the work we've been able to get out this year.
Well done, guys.
And shout out to the team. So we launched our mobile app at the start of the year. So
that's right.
Yeah.
I've got it too.
Yeah, I hope everyone's downloaded it.
It's on the phone, so I can't actually show it to you right now because I'm using the phone to film it, guys.
So we launched our mobile app at the start of the year, and then it's just been continuous launches all year. So we launched our MasterCard partnership.
That's right, yep.
Virtual card, Apple Pay.
Android?
Android,
Hey,
Google
finally.
Pay, everywhere.
I got it when there was no Android, and I'm waiting, but now it's there, so it's good.
Everything's there. It's all, they're all equal now. But so it's just been a lot of continuous launches. And I think we're starting to get more out in the community, and we're seeing traction. It's really rewarding. I guess we're at the end of the year to like kind of look back and see at the start of the year, we didn't even have a product.
That's crazy.
And then we're here and we're starting to see the actual metrics and the volume. And we're all super excited and super bullish for next year.
There you go, folks. You heard it first. Number go up. No. Well, I mean, it's a great time. Like at the time of like writing, I mean, I think it was last week that Bitcoin hit 44,000. And some people in the space don't care about the prices so much. And especially like with stablecoins, I mean, that's pegged to $1. So it's fine for that. But I think it's more the excitement that when markets go up like this, there's more interest, more people. And sometimes you have to lead them with that investment value first before they actually get to anything else. So really interesting to see. So you just mentioned a bit about like how the community plays a role in that feedback loop and that iterative process. And I think that's really important But what else does the community kind of play, or how else do you think about the community when it comes to what you guys are doing at Stables?
Our community like feeds into our processes like product and design. We take all of that feedback that we get and we prioritize and we kind of we like triage that and kind of fit it into our roadmap. So making sure that any little, it doesn't matter if it's the tiniest bit of feedback, it's all documented, it's all in a spreadsheet, and it all affects the roadmap.
So everyone matters.
Everyone matters.
That's amazing.
And then, like talking about our roadmap, we're expanding. So like with a lot of that feedback, we've kind of like next year, we're going to be expanding into Europe and the UK. So that's been something that people have been asking for. So we're slowly expanding our Southeast Asian off-ramps. So we're bringing more off-ramps. And then we're also going hard in the Philippines. So we're going to be doubling down in the Philippines next quarter. And that's all been from community feedback as well. So yeah,
amazing.
Very exciting times.
It is. And the guys have just been over there.
Yeah.
And have you heard some feedback from them? How are they going?
Yeah, it's been like, it's been really amazing. All the feedback that we've heard has been really like positive. And yeah, we're all super bullish again on next year. So watch this space.
You know, Australia's got 25, 27, nearly 30 million people. The Philippines is like 110. So there's massive markets out there for any company that is working here out of Australia. Like you've got to connect with Asia Pac at the very least, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's not that far away. It's like we're pretty close. And yeah, there's a definite need for it as well.
Well, it's fantastic to see, and we love seeing partners like this grow. And even if you guys weren't a partner, it's just great to celebrate, you know, great companies working in this space. Even if, you know, you start off as one thing, you end up as another in terms of the name change, you expand on capabilities, and you just adapt. Like no one knew that the market was going to hit the trough like we saw. But, you know, it's been interesting to see where things can head to. Now, given that this show is much more focused about design, product design, do you have some advice for aspiring designers or like people that are thinking about maybe they're already working in the space, but they're thinking about coming into this emerging tech and blockchain side of things? Do you have kind of advice for someone that's traveled the path before?
Yeah, I guess I've fallen into it, but I can definitely give advice or like what I'd say to like my younger self. 2 years younger.
Talking to yourself here. Yeah.
I guess it's just being curious, like immersing yourself in the space. It's always good to just get your hands dirty, work on projects, support teams. And yeah, I think, in terms of like skills and stuff, I think focus on research and interaction design, because there's a huge need for that in the crypto and blockchain space. And yeah, always stay curious.
There you heard it. Always stay curious, folks. I think it's really interesting. Like one of the things that really is missing from a lot of blockchain projects is the design. And people talk about the UX and UI, and you see with some of these apps, they're just not friendly. There's too much stuff going on. So it's nice to see what you guys have done. But if people want to learn more, get in touch and connect, they might be designers themselves and be curious, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
How do they get in touch with you?
You can reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. I am on Twitter. I don't use it that much, but I am there. But yeah, LinkedIn or even the customer service chat might be there.
There you go. You never know who's going to be manning it. You could be talking to Kirsty or Bernie or any one of the other amazing folks. But look, thank you so much for your time and delving into this, and I'm sure we'll see you back again soon.
Thanks for having me. Thanks
Cheers.
for putting this on.